In Matthew chapter 25, we find the parable of the talents. Let's take a look at what it says, starting in verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them, and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came, and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. He also, who had received 2 talents, came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Then he who had received the 1 talent came, and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him, and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Well, that escalated quickly. That last guy went from trusted to destitute to tortured for eternity in no time. The only real question we have time for in this video is, how do I not end up like that last guy? The talent was a form of money, but Jesus is talking about more than money here. In fact, the symbol of money tells us it's something of value. Very valuable, in fact. The last guy, who I'm going to call Clay, was given something precious. For the purpose of this video, we will call this item Clay's life. The Master gave Clay life, and the ability to increase his life even more, eternally more. But instead of investing his life into the work of the Master, Clay buried it in the ground. When the time came for lives to be assessed, the other 2 were given more life. But Clay got what he invested in, and Clay was buried in the ground. Alright, so applying this to our lives as Christians may go something like this. All I have been given in this life is the Master's. Notice, I don't own or have anything. Everything I have, my house, my life, my car, my kids, my money, everything belongs to my Master. And since I've died to self, I must invest all I have been entrusted with into my Master's business. Now, had Clay allowed God to mold his life, he would have seen that God was the one on the hook for the talent, not him. As long as Clay goes along with the will of the potter, it stays in his hands. God will continue to hold it, shape it, and mold it. God the potter may have to pull some pieces off, or even reduce it to a clump and start again. But if clay obeys the will of the potter, he will become something great. This means all who choose to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior are in his hands, even when they mess up. It's only when clay rejects the salvation God has offered and hardens his heart that clay is given his wish. Now it's up to clay to make something of himself, which has never happened. When things in life start getting a bit wobbly, don't fear. God will mold them into something great. When things look like they are being smashed apart, don't fear. God will create something great. That's the best part of being clay. So long as you allow the potter's hands to mold you, it's not up to you to become anything. It's not up to you to keep the doors open or to fund your mission. It's up to the potter to add more clay, more talents, until he has enough to do his will. As long as we're doing the master's will, he will provide. Now, we can't go out and buy a mansion and say Jesus said, he's making me a mansion, and this is it. Nope, sorry prosperity gospel. That ain't the deal. The master will deliver the talents, or the supplies, and the desire to do the mission. It's up to the clay to maintain it until he returns. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. For full messages, please follow us at the Canton Covenant Group. God bless.